Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Today we are trying out a cute little envelope die set. I've been wanting this for a little while. Of course, it's easy to create your own little envelopes, but when you have one that's made for you, it makes it super easy. While I was at the Simon Says Stamp shop, I picked up also some scallop stitches. These are 3 scallop border dies, so we're going to be using those in our projects. Now, the mini interactive envelope is a 3-piece set. It creates the envelope, but the cutest thing, it creates a little card base for a mini card. If you wanted to decorate it, you very well could. It also comes with a little heart. The heart's nice because it could be used as a decoration. These are the little bits from your dies. I pick it up with my magnetic tool when I trim the dies. That way I don't step on them because they're pretty sharp little boogers. But I'm going to go ahead and die cut out one of these envelopes. I'm going to create one. But this little heart you could use for many things. Putting a window in your envelope, putting a closure on your envelope, putting a little heart on your card. For my projects today, we're going to be using more pattern paper. I've been loving pattern paper lately, and I have lots of it. This is a 12 by 12 paper pad from Echo Park. It's called Bundle of Joy. I've had this for a while, and the prints in here are on the larger side. I'm not sure if they have a smaller 6 by 6 paper pad, but I'm not even sure if they still have this paper pad, but if they do, I'll list it below. I'm taking one of the sheets in here. It's like a pink grid paper. I'm going to die cut out an envelope with this one. Then I'm also going to die cut out a green printed envelope. And then for the little card, I'm going to use white cardstock. This is some brown paper that came with that paper pad. I think I can get one of the little designs that are in that print on one of the hearts, so we're going to give that a go. I'm going to tape everything down and run these through my die cutting machine. And we have some cute little envelopes. I created one already. Now, the nice thing about this envelope is you just add a little bit of glue to create it. There's score lines, 4 of them, so you just fold in all of the score lines. There is a long closure, but there's an option if you want a short closure, you could use the opposite end. This is your little card. It does have a score line, so you just crease the score line or reinforce it, and you could create a little mini card. How cute is that? That'd be good for a little crafty friend, I think. And then it just fits in that little envelope perfect. I think that's adorable. We're not going to use the little card today. I have a little different idea in mind, but I wanted to share with you. This is the little heart. I was able to cut out one of the little decorations on that pattern paper, so it worked out perfectly. I love the colors in this paper pad. There's teals, there's like a rosy pink, and also there's browns and greens. For the most part, I didn't use very many green colors from the paper pad, but I do love the colors. They're soft, but I think they're still pretty. So we're gonna not make a baby card, but make 3 just everyday cards. All you do is reinforce these score lines on the envelope, the left and right, and then the bottom. You can see the bottom and the top are both rounded. This is where you can create a long closure or a short closure. I opted for a long closure. You just add a little bit of glue around that little curve. I'm adding a piece of scrap paper on the inside just in case I didn't want my envelope sealed shut. I like to add glue all around the entire edge just to make it easier for me, but you don't have to do that. I just put scratch paper in there so I didn't seal it shut. Okay, so that is the mini interactive envelope set. Cute, and it's the price is good on it too, guys. I'll list it below if you guys need a little envelope set. Okay, we're going to set these aside, and then we're going to work on our first card. First card, I wanted to make a card with a tag on it. So we're going to bring in some pattern papers in our card base. All of our card bases today are standard A2 size card bases. The pattern papers that we're going to use are that same pink grid paper. And then I'm going to bring in my Hero Arts Infinity tag dies. This is a nice set for just basic tag cutting. Taking the second to the largest, and we're going to die cut out a pink tab. I thought I can get away with it. I think I may have cut this a little bit too short. I cut this paper in an A2 size panel think I should have cut it in a 6x6, but no worries. We're going to go ahead and take some of this chevron print. And nice thing about chevron prints is if you cut a thin strip, you can create diagonal stripes. So that's what I did here. It's about a 1/4 inch strip. I'm also going to bring in some of the polka dot pattern paper. I think the polka dot made it look a little bit more childish, but I do like polka dots on my card, so I went for it. We're going to go ahead and add our tape behind our polka dots. This is going to go on the very bottom of this panel. I thought you could do this separately, but I like sometimes with pattern papers, depending on the weight, is putting together my layers and then die cutting it out with the tag. Just gives a more clean cut, and you don't have to worry about any excess overhanging. I added a thin line of glue, and I used my tag die as a guide on where to stop with the glue. And then we are going to, I'm going to take my scissors actually and trim off the excess so it'll fit in my paper or my die cutting machine a little bit better. But you just line up your tag, and then we'll run this to the die cutting machine. Now eventually I'm going to die cut out a green or teal, I should say, reinforcement for the hole on the top of the tag. This set has one of those, and I just glued that down and then threaded some white twine through my tag. So it's all finished, and I just loved it. Now I have lots of fun foam. The fun foam that I have, I use the adhesive backed fun foam, and I actually went to go to Wally World to get a little bit more, and I don't think they carry it no more, but I know Amazon has this. But I like the adhesive back because you just need to add adhesive to one side, and then all you have to do is remove the release paper. It makes it easy, especially for larger areas. I trimmed down a card front panel with this pattern paper. We're going to go ahead and add glue behind it and adhere it to our card base. And any excess overhanging we're going to trim off. Just press that down real good. And it's a shockaroo because I didn't have any excess overhanging. It actually fit perfect. Usually my card base is cut to the wrong size, or my panels are cut, but this I got pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and adhere. This is a ruler. It's actually in the pattern paper also. You have different colors of rulers in the paper pad. There's pinks and browns and teals. I just cut down a strip of the brown ruler and adhered it to the right side of my card, leaving about a 1/2 inch from the right border. I'm going to go ahead and use my scalloped stitch borders here, and we're going to die cut out all 3 of these with white cardstock. The nice thing, I have border dies, I do. I have a real pretty one that has it's a small scallop, but it has dots in it, which is very dainty. And then I have one medium size that doesn't have any, but it doesn't have any stitch detail. So this is nice because there's 3 different sizes, and there's just scallops and stitch lines. And this was a great price point too, guys. So I just picked up, there's 3 in this scallop die set, and so I thought we'd use them all 3 today. They're open-ended too, which makes it really nice. So I lined it up on the edge of my cardstock just so I have thin strips. But open-end means you can make these as wide as you want. So I just wanted thin strips. I'm going to take one of these, add a thin bead of glue on the right side of my ruler, and then we can go ahead and add our thin strip, our scallop strip. This just adds a little bit more softness, I think. I like doing this. Okay, next I'll remove the release paper off of my tag here, and we're going to place this almost in the center of our panel. I'm going to tie a bow with our twine on top here, just trimming the tails of our bow. And then for my sentiment today, I'm bringing in a stamp set that I've had for a while. This is a nice stamp set. There's a whole bunch of these from PhotoPlay. This is the Say It With Stamps collection. This is the Today, and you purchase the dies separately, but the stamp set has the large Today that you can stamp, and then there's secondary stamp sentiments that are blocked that you can die cut to go with it. So you can make so many different sentiments with this. The die set has the word Today that lines up with the image in the stamp set. I'm going to die cut that out with white cardstock, but it also has an outline, and I'm going to take the outline and die cut that out with vellum. We'll just tape this down, and then I glue them together just so that today will stand out against the vellum. I use an acrylic block to weigh it down. Sometimes when you use glue on vellum, it kind of warps, so this is going to help with that. Now in the stamp set, lots of sentiments, and I'm going to stamp Enjoy first. The first one didn't stamp too well. These are on the smaller side, guys, but I didn't mind that. I like them. It could be only because, you know what, there is a die set that PhotoPlay has in the Say It With Stamps collection that will die cut these out, so you don't have to fuss with your paper trimmer. I stamped Enjoy, Celebrate, and Thinking of You, and I stamped with Momenta Tuxedo Black ink. Actually, I take that back. I stamped it with Momenta Rich Cocoa ink. It's a brown ink. I think it's going to go really well. This is that die set I was talking about. It cuts out your sentiments in perfect little strips. I have a larger one from Avery L that I use often. These are a lot skinnier, so it just, and it goes with all of the Say It With Stamps sentiments stamps and die sets. So it's nice. You just have to buy one of these, and you can buy the rest of the stamps if you want. I have the You and the Wish also, and there's some more coming out, and I think I'm gonna pick up a few. I think, oh no, I have the Blessings too, which is really nice. We're gonna line up our dies with our sentiments. I have 3 of the sentiments for all 3 of my cards. We're gonna do this all at once today, but we're gonna die cut this out, and then we are good to go. You can see how thin the strip is. Now for my tag card, we're gonna take our Today. It's nice and flat. We're gonna add little dots of glue behind it, and then this is gonna go just above the stripes on our tag. Flip this over, kind of centering it, and I wanted something else for my tag just to make it extra special, and I have lots of stickers, so I found one that had cupcakes and candles. It's actually a birthday sticker pack. This pack, actually, I'll link down below if you guys are interested, but it's a fun little sticker set. They're all foam. It's like a foam chipboard. Their entire backs are foam covered, so they're nice and solid, and there's a little bit of sparkle in them. I'll link it down below. But I grabbed the cupcake in the set, and then we're going to place this just in the center, right above our Today, basically lining the candle up with our reinforcement at the top of the tag. Lovely. We're going to take our little Enjoy, I think it's, so it'll say Enjoy Today, add a little glue behind it, and we're going to add it to the cupcake wrapper on the left side. I think it's going to work out better. And it's hard to tell on camera, but the brown ink really does go nice with that Enjoy. So that's our first card, Enjoy Today, just kind of an everyday card. And I love the colors with it. We're going to embellish it in just a little bit. We're going to move along to our next card. So these are the pattern papers we're going to use. I chose the polka dots in a card front panel size. We're going to tape this to an A2 size card base, and this is going to be our background. Now for this card, you don't need all of this paper. You could cut maybe 1-inch strips and get away with putting it to the left and to the right if you want to save some paper. But since it was a 12 by 12 paper pad, I wasn't stingy with my pattern paper. And I did it again. I lined it up pretty good. I'm good with my cuts today. Okay, this pattern paper is that teal colored. What I'm going to do is take my scallop strip, the largest one in the stitched scallop set, and I'm going to create about a 1/2-inch strips, 2 of them. I wanted some borders, and so this is going to work out great. We're just lining them up, and I flipped my panel over because the design on this pattern has little scallops also, and I want to make sure that both scallops are going the same way. Next, we're going to adhere our brown pattern paper to our chevron print. And originally I was going to put it down the center, but I decided to shorten it a little bit. It's about the brown is like a 2-inch wide, and then the chevron print is, of course, maybe a 1/2 inch. I'm just basically trimming a 1/4 inch off of that, make it a little bit more of a skinnier strip. I'm going to add adhesive behind this, and then we're going to add our scallops to the left and to the right. And I'm adding it just past the stitch detail, so you can see that stitch detail on that teal colored pattern paper. Soft teal, I should say. We'll line these up And something looks so cute about these colors. I don't know, it just reminds me of a bakery or a cupcake shop. I did add foam adhesive behind this, and I'm going to go ahead and place this directly down the center of my card base. This is going to add a little dimension, making sure that it's even on the left and the right. And then we're going to bring in our little envelopes. We're going to use both of them. I have that same teal colored envelope, and then I have that green, pink grid paper envelope. We're going to use both of them. We're not going to use the insert. I did take some pattern paper. This pattern paper wasn't part of the Bundle of Joy paper pad. I actually picked it up through one of my 6x6 paper pads that I've had in my stash. But it's just a tan colored print that I created like a little notebook page with. Trimming it down. I did angle the very bottom so my paper will fit a little bit wonky in the envelope. Hindsight, you probably don't need to do that, guys. But I did it and you can't see it, so that's a good thing. And I'm curling up the edges of that paper. We're going to flip over our envelopes and add foam adhesive behind them. And then we'll grab them both at the same time. When I place my envelopes kind of wonky, I like using both hands. I know it's crazy, but I do. And then this way I can just set them down at the same time, kind of overlapping each other. Now for my pink envelope, I trimmed down a little piece of vellum. You'll probably want to tack this vellum down to the inside of your envelope because the vellum is slick, and if you put it in your card, I'm afraid your vellum's going to slide out. We're going to secure that grid or the notebook paper print with a paper clip, so I wasn't too concerned about, but the vellum I think you'd want to secure to the inside of your little envelope. Now I went ahead and used the little heart die in the mini interactive envelope set. Die cut out 2 brown hearts, 2 pink hearts, and then 2 of the teal colored hearts. I added 3 to the vellum at the very top, and then I took 2 of them and we're going to add them in that brown area of the pattern paper, kind of as if they're floating out of that top envelope. We have 1 left over. We're just going to set that one aside. We don't need that one. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my little sentiment that says thinking of you. When I die cut it out with that die, I made sure that I had excess cardstock on the left side. This gives me room to secure it with the paper clip, but you could still see the sentiment. So I added a dot of glue on that end and secured it to my little notebook page. And then I'm taking one of my small itty bitty paper clips. These are from Fun Stamper's Journey. There's tons in this little pack. If they still have them, sometimes when there's sales, they sell out of them. And I got these on a sale, so if they still have them, I'll link them. But I know if I don't link it, Doodlebug has some too. But I'm just threading it with my whipped cream twine here. And then I'm going to secure it right over my thinking of you and my notebook page. And then I tied a bow with it at the very top. And I think it looks super fun. Okay, so that is card number 2. We're going to move along to our last card, just using some bits and pieces of this pattern paper here. I have my A2 size card front or card base. We're going to start off by adhering. In the paper pad there's lots of stripes, and in the stripe pattern there's a scalloped edge and some dotted black lines. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the left side of my card base, leaving about a 1/2 inch from the edge. And then I'm going to take that teal colored pattern paper. We're going to adhere this is about a 1.5 inch strip. I ran out of tape, so I got to do a refill. And we're going to adhere our pattern paper. We're going to butt it up right against those stripes there. Lovely. Okay, now we have that ruler paper. Instead of going horizontal and making long ruler strips, I cut it vertical, so we have different color ruler stripes. And that's the one right next to my paper trimmer, or my tape runner there. Okay, we have also some more of that pink grid paper, and then the teal. I corner rounded the pink paper just on the left side, and I'm going to do the same thing to a slightly smaller piece. This way we can layer them together. And I'm using the 1/4 inch side of my corner chomper here. On that teal colored, we're going to add a small white square for the background, and then we're going to pop this up and place it on our pink grid paper. I like dimension. If you guys don't like all this dimension, you could skip this step and just adhere it to that pink. But I like the layers. I just think it's fun. We'll remove the release paper, add this, just lining up the right edges, and then that's good to go. Next, we'll take our little ruler strip, and then we're going to adhere this to the bottom portion of our card base. And then I'll add foam adhesive again behind our corner rounded piece. Remove the release paper, and again, if you don't want all this dimension, it's not necessary to add it all, but I like it. That's going to go just above, all the way to the edge on the right. And then we have our little celebrate sentiment. I'm going to bring back that sticker sheet here. I love the little skinny candles in here. And then I also took that extra scallop piece that we die cut earlier. I'm going to go ahead and add a thin bead of glue on the edge of our stripe pattern paper, and then we'll adhere this scallop strip on the left side just to add a little more softness. And we're going to go directly over that ruler paper, kind of crisscrossing it. Gives a really neat effect. Lots of layers on this one. Next, we'll take our candles, and I'm going to line them up in the white cardstock here. I like going with the first one and then going all the way to the last one and then filling in the middle so I can kind of evenly space them. I'm going to go ahead and add my flames, kind of a little bit wonky, and then I think that looks so fun. I'm going to go ahead and add a little glue behind my celebrate, and then these are going to go on, the sentiment's going to go right over the last two candles. It's small enough, but I just love the softness of this card. Could be for anybody. Okay, now for bells and whistles, I'm bringing in some of my diamond stickles. We got to add them to the flames. I'm going to do that to the flame on our cupcake and also on our candles. And then I'm also going to bring in some gems. These are some crystal gems from Nuvo. I'm going to go ahead and add gems to every single one of my cards just for a little added sparkle. And those finishes off my card today, guys. I hope you enjoyed my projects. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. I'll link the little mini interactive envelope and the scallop stitched dies down below. Well, actually, I'll just link everything down below like I always do, but if you want to see still shots, visit my blog. But super fun, love pattern paper. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me. We will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.